Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a super cute DIY Halloween placemats. This will make a set of 4. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 6 half yard of each. And so this is a mixture between Riley Blake and Moda. Sorry guys, I don't feel good, so I may sound terrible. So um, then you're going to need 1.5 yards of backing and binding fabric. And I just chose this plain black right here. I got mine from Hobby Lobby. This other fabric I found at a sewing boutique in a few towns over from me. And this is where I got this pattern from. It was just a little paper that told you what to do. So then you're going to need 1 yard of interfacing and 1 yard fusible fleece. I purchased these, but these are not going to be enough. So make sure you buy it by the yard. And you could use your 40% off coupon and just get those one at a time if I was you. And then you're also going to need a 60-degree triangle ruler. If you don't have one, I'm going to show you how to do this with your mat. So no worries on that one. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 6 fabrics and we're going to cut 1 3/4 strips. And it will be the 1 3/4 times whatever length whatever width the fabric is. Okay, so I just leave mine folded just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep it folded, and I'm going to come down and I'm just going to cut them 1 3/4. So you're going to need to do each fabric 4 times since it's going to make 4 placemats. So once you get done with this, you're going to take your backing and binding fabric and cut it into 4 20-inch squares. And so now this is what it's going to look like once you have all of your pieces here. So you're going to just take them and set them aside. We're going to press each and every single one of these to come out with the best, to have it looking very nice. Okay, so now you see I get them on my Steady Betty board here, and I'm going to press each one. And then I'm going to take and start putting them together. Each time I sew one, I'm going to press it. So eventually it'll look like this, and this is how I clip it together before I sew it. And then you can see this is how I sew it, and I'll unclip as I go along. I keep it as straight as possible, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then you're going to press it all again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutting board, and it has a 60-degree cutting line. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it perfectly lined up. And then I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that first piece of salvage off. And so go ahead and get that corner. I'm going to line it up here and go ahead and cut that. After you cut it, you'll flip it the opposite direction, and then you will cut again, and you'll see that then we get a triangle. So you're just going to keep going with this long strip of fabric here, back and forth, until you get all 6 of your triangles. After you have all 6 triangles, you're going to take them and go ahead and start making your hexagon. So you're just going to take them one at a time, and you want to alternate the pattern because you're going to have 2 different patterns going here from the way you cut it. So you're just going to alternate them back and forth. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and cut all 4 sets for all 4 placemats, and you could do 2 that are just the same and 2 that are just, 2 alike and 2 alike. So you could do it like that, or you can do it like this. So however you like it. So you're just going to continue to line them up, making sure everything matches up. And like I said, if you have a 60-degree triangle, it's definitely going to be way easier or faster for you. And I highly recommend, you can get that off Overstock, Amazon, HSN, all over. You can get those for, I believe they're around $11 to $15. Even your local sewing store should have them. So this is what it's going to look like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to, sorry about that, moving just a little bit, trying to get it to where you can see the whole thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get it ready to sew. So what you'll do is you're going to fold one piece over just like this, and you want to make sure that you line it up perfectly to line each one, because at the very end it's going to be huge. So you have to make sure that it's lined up perfectly, all of your lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clips and I'm going to clip them so that way I can make sure they stay. So you're going to do all three, and then you'll come back and you'll do the other three, and then we'll sew it together, and you'll see that here in just a minute. So I'm just going to continue to clip these here, and you're going to sew these at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Each time I finish sewing one, I'm going to press it. This is what it should look like whenever you finish the first half. And then when you finish the second half, you're going to pin it together and sew. After you get done sewing, you're going to want to press it again. After you get done pressing it, this is what it should look like. This Steady Betty just does wonders, and I know I talk about it all the time, and I am in no way affiliated with her. I just absolutely adore this thing. Now we're going to go ahead and attach the fusible fleece. So you're just going to, I'm going to pin it all down around it, and I'm going to cut around the excess, and then we're going to press it all down. So now that we have it cut, we're going to go ahead and just press this down. You want to do it with the fabric side up. Make sure you have the fusible fleece facing the fabric. And then I just kind of press and press, and then here in a second I'll pull the needles out and just want it to temporarily hold it enough until I feel like I'm comfortable with it, and I'll go ahead and pull those out. So just keep pressing until it's completely attached. After you're done with that, you're going to take your 20-inch square that we cut out from the backing fabric, and you're going to lay down your interfacing. And you want to leave about an inch or so around the outside, but you're going to put on the octagon shape here, and that way you can cut off the remaining excess so you're not ironing down all of that interfacing. So just kind of pin it down and then cut off the excess. Once you get it cut to size, you're going to go and take it off. You're going to pin it down in the middle. I do this just to kind of hold it in place, and then I'll flip it over, and I'm going to press. You don't really want to stretch it or anything. You're just going to be pressing it to get it to attach to the interfacing. Okay, once that's complete, you're going to go ahead and attach these wrong sides together, and then you're going to take it over to the sewing machine and quilt it. So you're just going to follow your lines there and just stitch it. Then I'm going to take some chalk, as you can see here, and I'm going to make my spider web design and go to stitch it out. And there it is, complete. And so I'm just going to take a damp rag to wipe off the chalk. I like to use chalk. It's easy to clean up. For the binding, once you have it trimmed down to 1 inch, you're going to fold it over, and you're just going to bend it right over like that. It's going to self-bind, so you're going to take a little clip or a needle and just pin it in place. That way you can go all the way around and just keep doing that until you have it all together. That way you can get it as perfect as possible. Once you get it all clipped or pinned in place, go ahead and press all of your seams that you can. That way it looks even smoother. Then take it over to your machine and stitch as close as you can as possible to the edge, or you can do this by hand. And this is what it looks like. It's super easy, and as you can see, this is a full-size plate and bowl and a cup. That's how big it is. I believe it was like 21 inches wide by 16. I'll have to measure again and have it in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.